Okay, so we're going to do a quick recording of an advanced Divi feature of how to take a blurb module and turn it into a hover module. So if you wanted a module that had an image and maybe some text, but this one doesn't, and then when you hover over it, it changes and it changes color, it adds text, it adds an icon. If you want to change what happens to a blurb module when you hover over it, here is a brief demonstration. This is a little more complicated, and this is something that when you might need to review this several times to get it to do what you want it to do. And every time I come in, I almost have to relearn it because there are several steps. But you begin, we'll create a new module just for an example, because you're going to begin with clicking this plus sign and typing in blurb. So we're in the visual builder, and you see that there is a blurb module here. A standard blurb module comes up with the option for an image or icon, your title, and your content. And it's stationary. When you publish it, it's just going to look like this. So we'll say test resource, and you can type in your content here. And this is just going to say, this is what a standard blurb is. And the image and icon down over here, I'm actually going to break this out and bring this in so you can see. Image and icon settings. You can choose to use an icon, and then you can change your color of your icon under design. And I actually want the dark blue maybe, and I want the icon background to be pink. But maybe I want my icon on the left to make a smaller thing. So you can do a lot of just general updating with a blurb, but this is not going to change on hover at this point. You can add a link so that this would link to something, and you can also change the background of the entire module if you wanted. Again, if I were to save this, you would have your module, but it would not change on the hover. So the trick, if I wanted to have a test resource, but with a hover, and obviously this is not an accessible design because the color is bad. I'm going to change that background back to transparent. Oh, didn't mean to change it, close that out. No. And we love Divi because it likes to not open. Okay, so then if you wanted something different on the hover, you're going to come and you're going to just touch on the title, on the icon, or on the body area, and you'll see this piece pop up here with the little arrow. And this is to change what happens on hover. So now when I'm on hover, it's going to show me what's on my desktop screen right now. I can click here for hover, and then I can change what this says. Test resource, okay. Say hover mode. And you can change your body on hover. And look like this is it. And I'm going to change my icon. I'm going to on hover. I'm going, oops. Sorry. On hover, I'm going to take it away and I'm going to add an image. And I'll just grab something from the media. There's a nice square one. I think we've been trying a few examples. Let's use this Recollection, Wisconsin one. And I can change my background on hover mode and go with a light pink. And then, let's see, and you can change, let's see, I don't know if I can make this image icon placement there. Hover, on hover, I want that to be on top. Okay, now, sometimes you have to exit your visual builder to make sure things actually work. Oh, it didn't like what I did there. Okay, it doesn't like what I did. See, this is where it gets tricky, and sometimes you have to play with it. But I at least got the title and resource to change. The icon, I haven't managed to make that change in the right way yet. And I don't know if that's because it needs to be the same on both sides. But this one we have set up so that there's the image and then the icon and text appear on hover. So again, there's some playing that needs to be done with this, but at least you can see that there is that hover mode piece in there. There is also in this module, no, I don't want to save the library. In this module, there is also a difference between desktop, hover, and tablet. That's just being very slow. It'll show you what you can set up for tablet and phone. And I think my computer is being a little stressed out by both zooming, recording, and doing this. But you can also dig in for a different look on phone, a different function on tablet, different function on hover. And a different desktop action. So this is all available, and a lot of modules do have something like this where you can change what happens on a hover. Image modules specifically have this feature so that you can change what is happening in a hover or in on a different device. You can have different words pop up there. So that's one tip. Now, because I really don't know how to make this thing work properly, I'm going to show you another trick. If you have a module that you like and you want everything else to look like it, you can copy and paste those module styles to another place. So there is, if you can either click on these three dots or right click anywhere in a module and you can copy module styles. And you can take that and right click again and paste the module styles. And it will bring that module over. And then you can begin editing that module based on these looks. So this one now is going to be set up other than it has my text in there, but it's changed the image and whatnot. So then it gives me a place so that you can have consistency across your website. I'll say it works fairly well. There are times when it doesn't copy everything exactly, but it'll get you, like, now you see that it already has the border that pops up on hover, and it has some of the other things that were happening with the other modules that will get you probably 90% of the way to having a consistent look with different, and then you just have to tweak a few of those last details. I got so see what it brought over the transparent online image, which I would need to go in and change that. And I would need to change this to an icon, but it gets you a lot closer with that. So there's a couple of fun advanced tips for today that you may or may not ever use, but it kind of neat to see that Divi can do a lot more when you really want something to work. So if you can be creative, and if you get stuck on something, feel free to send a ticket. We're happy to help brainstorm some of these creative things with you. So again, the new ticketing website is website help at librarieswin.org, and we can give that stuff a go. Okay, I will stop this recording